Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, Deontay Wilder has completely contradicted his tweet he put out a few days ago saying that he turned down a big offer to fight Anthony Joshua and went for Tyson Fury instead. He has now said that they ran from him. They didn't want to fight him and the DAZN contract was flawed. There were things wrong with it. Now, when you get a contract like that, you are allowed to say, I want this, I want that, change this, change that, then we've got a deal. Deontay Wilder is allowed to do that, but he did not. He just outright refused the contract. So why did he do that? If he wanted the fight so badly, if all of this money was on the table, why did he not do that? Because as I said, he can make changes to the contract and demand certain things. DAZN were the ones contacting him, so he can provide something that they want, which is the WBC World Championship and Undisputed. So DAZN want that from Deontay Wilder. They contacted him, he did not contact them. So that means he is in a strong position, so he can make certain things and adjustments to the contract to suit his needs. But he didn't do that, which tells you one thing. Did he really want the fight? You would have to say no. Otherwise, he would have gone back and forth with them and worked towards making the fight. All he done and all he got out of that meeting was it made him realise he could earn more money. Then he could go back to Showtime and Fox and say that they were going to offer me this brilliant contract, so you have to get close to that and give me more money. Otherwise, I'm off. He never had any intentions of being off, but ultimately, that is what he used to make more money on his current platform. So he wanted to make more money. He didn't necessarily want to fight Anthony Joshua. He just used him to build his media profile and earn more money. Now, this is all coming out because Eddie Hearn said let the real guys go and fight for the Undisputed Championship. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Park Deontay Wilder aside. He also responded to Wilder's tweet saying that, oh, so it was actually you that ducked Anthony Joshua. The truth has finally come out. And obviously, Deontay Wilder is responding to that saying that Eddie Hearn just wants to be famous. He just wants to use all of this to build his profile and that they ran from him. And then never gave an explanation as to why they are running from him. He just said it and expects everyone to believe him. He also said that he is past them. No, Anthony Joshua is unified heavyweight world champion. What is Deontay Wilder at the moment? Is he world champion? No. Does he believe he is? Probably, but he's not. So if he says he's past them, then what level does Deontay Wilder believe he is at? How deluded is this guy? Also, Eddie Hearn just wants to be famous. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that he wants to get this media exposure for his fighters so he can get more money for them and get more opportunities. Let's not forget the offers that Deontay Wilder was sent from Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua in an attempt to make this fight happen. How many things they tried to do to secure Undisputed, but it never happened. Wilder sent one offer to Anthony Joshua, and that was a 50 million offer, but an offer where they did not prove they had the funds, and an offer that was sent without a contract. So Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua were told they have to agree and accept that offer before they can see the contract. So what are they exactly agreeing to? Because the problem was that Deontay Wilder said there was a 100 million in the fight and he believed he deserved 50% of that pot, so 50 million. What Anthony Joshua countered that with is if there is 50 million each in the pot, if there is 100 million in total, then bring me 50 million and then we will fight. So what Wilder done was personally sent an offer to Eddie Hearn about that 50 million, saying that he will give Anthony Joshua 50 million for the fight. He even said, I'll see you soon. But when Eddie Hearn explained that they were interested and when Eddie Hearn asked to see proof of funds and a contract, they refused. They said, no, you cannot see a contract until you accept the deal. So he has to accept that 50 million offer even though he does not know what he has to do. He does not know what is in the contract, what it stipulates. He just has to accept it and go in blind. That was the only offer that Wilder and his team made to Anthony Joshua. So by him saying that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn ran, look at Anthony Joshua's resume. Does that make you believe that he's ran from anyone? And just look at this, Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, rematched him 5 or 6 months later. Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, didn't rematch him. Why? Because I know he wants to fight now, and he's shouting and screaming and throwing his toys out of the pram, but did he really want the fight? Because if he did, why isn't the fight happening? Why did they constantly move the date, move the goalposts? Because Tyson Fury wanted to fight, he wanted to find a resolution to this problem, but clearly there was some problem with Team Wilder because they kept moving the date. They didn't want to make this fight. If he wanted the fight to happen, then it would have happened. And let's remember all of the media silence where he did not say a single thing. He's coming out in abundance with these different things now on conspiracy theories, but he didn't say a single thing. As soon as the fight is off the table and taken away from him, that is when he finally talks, because he has to. He has nothing else he can do, because if he doesn't come out with some sort of excuse why he did not make this Tyson Fury rematch happen, then he loses all credibility to his fans. Whatever credibility he had in the first place. So that is why he is making up all of these excuses, but he inadvertently revealed that he is the one who turned down a major offer from Anthony Joshua to make that fight. And of course his fans lap it up. They make it seem true because they believe anything that Deontay Wilder will tell them. At this point, they've gone too far to turn on him, I guess. So his fans will back him, his little following that he has. But at the end of the day, all you have to do is look at the resumes of both fighters. Look who Anthony Joshua has fought, look who Deontay Wilder has fought. Then you can see who didn't want to fight who, because Anthony Joshua has proven through his resume, through doing it in the ring, by not saying anything at all, that he fights top contenders back to back. He fights the best after the best opponents that he can get. Let's not forget, when Jarrell Miller was popped and he had to be taken out, it was Andy Ruiz who was brought in. The reason why is because he was the best opponent that they could find. They could have fought Trevor Bryan, which Anthony Joshua would have won quite comfortably, and they knew that. So they brought in Ruiz instead, because he was a tougher opponent. In fact, a better fighter than Jarrell Miller, who they were supposed to be fighting before. So Anthony Joshua has proven he has a track record where he fights the best, and he wants to challenge himself, just as we want to see him in the tough fights. We want to see how good Anthony Joshua is, but also Anthony Joshua wants to know how good he is. That is why he continuously challenges himself in these tough fights. And of course, Wilder has 2 Tyson Fury fights and 2 Luis Ortiz fights. The first Luis Ortiz fight, I'm willing to give him credit for. I think that was a good win. The second one, Luis Ortiz was a bit more washed than in the first fight. Tyson Fury in the first fight, I think we will all agree, was not 100%. And in my opinion, he still won that fight, even though it was a draw. And there are many others who believe that Tyson Fury won that first fight. Then the second fight, and Tyson Fury completely schooled him. He battered him, he beat him up, he backed him up, he pushed him back and knocked him out. So Wilder was clearly in there with an elite level heavyweight, a level above him. That's just the way it is. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are elite level. Deontay Wilder is a world level fighter. And he keeps changing his story. He keeps altering what he believes is the truth. And that can always tell you that someone is lying. If they're telling the truth, they can only tell one story. He's changing the story every single 5 minutes. I mean, 1 minute he was receiving an offer from Anthony Joshua and he turned that down to fight Tyson Fury, to be a man of his word, even though he didn't bother about that when he was pushing to be undisputed champion, which was a fight he never sought out. Now all of a sudden it was Anthony Joshua who ran from him. So he keeps changing his story to fit what he believes is the truth and to make his claim plausible in some weird way, but that can always tell you that someone is lying when they continuously change what they believe is the truth. And I think that the alarming thing above all else is, who is Deontay Wilder trying to kid? His fans or himself? Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.